Today, I'll tell you about a movie. The police disguised a fried chicken shop to catch the criminals. The restaurant unexpectedly hit the whole town. Even the gangsters came to eat there in the movie Extreme Job. At the beginning of the movie, several criminals were playing mahjong. Suddenly someone kicked the vent open. He opened and saw a woman. He thought she was a glass cleaner, but she was a police officer. At the door, there were another policeman and a newcomer waiting for them. The criminal wanted to escape through another window. Unexpectedly, the team leader of the police team had waited there. Seeing the rope falling down, the leader asked them to pull him up. This is pathetic. Shouldn't the mighty police break the window, to subdue the interlocutors with fluent movements? The leader said, "If I break the glass, you'll pay for it." The criminal wanted to break through the glass and jumped down. The leader also started a crazy free fall. The posture wasn't handsome at all. The teammates started chasing. The criminal wanted to steal an old aunt's car, but was snatched out by the woman. What a shame. Just as everyone was running desperately, the spirit guy, Young Ho, drove a bike passing him and knocked the criminal to the ground. Unfortunately, not for long, he was stunned to the ground. You say it is pathetic or not? The criminal wanted to escape, and the bus suddenly knocked him down, causing a chain crash, in order just to catch a small guy. As a result, 16 cars collided together. This was more comical. The last one was obviously to touch the porcelain. The superior was very dissatisfied with their performance, couldn't catch the guy. They even made the aunt before became famous. This was really a talent. They weren't only criticized by the superior, but also were washed away by another junior team leader. When the chief went for a barbecue, he received a task from a junior to catch some criminals. The team stayed here for some days, but gained nothing but complaints of an old lady. The group of suspicious people passed here by chance. In order not to expose themselves, they had to get into the police car first, and then showed their identities. The 5 people continued to stay in the chicken restaurant. Not until they got sick of the chicken did they see an improvement. In order to find evidence, they thought of a way to deliver food. But the boss said that his business was too bleak and he was ready to transfer. Everyone immediately offered to buy this store. Unfortunately, there was no money. The chief returned home without any valuable gifts. His wife complained again. Her life was worse than that of cats and dogs. You can't be a captain if you're not capable. It takes more than hard work to be a captain. He quietly took away the savings from his family and took the fried chicken shop. Everyone began to install surveillance, preparing to monitor the criminals. What they didn't expect was that 13 tables of guests came within one day, which seriously affected their mission. At night, everyone heard the sound of criminals fighting again. When they got tired, they ordered some fried chicken. Then who would be responsible for the fried chicken? Everyone took out their own skills. Whoever got the best dish would be the chef. In the end, the fried chicken made by Ma was unexpectedly delicious. Customers who came to eat fried chicken said it was good and delicious. This was incredible. As soon as the new dish was released, the business became hot immediately. Every day was full of guests. The chief was able to get the money easily. Everyone became an employee of the fried chicken shop. Young Ho was watching in the car, and the chief called him to buy materials. Putting things aside for monitoring, what was all this? With the money, the chief bought a famous bag for his wife. His wife's attitude towards him changed immediately. The shop's business was getting better. The local TV station came to interview, but was bombarded by the chief. He told everyone, "What the hell? Get your act together." But in the next second, a group order of 30 people was received. Young Ho, who had been watching secretly, found the target. He called the team, but they were all busy greeting the guests. How could there be time to catch criminals? He had to follow them alone and finally lost at the intersection. He returned to the shop angrily to question everyone. "Are you doing this as a cover? I chased him, by myself. Do you know how frustrated I felt?" Det Ma immediately retorted. "I got burned and cut. Do you know how much that hurts?" The new guy said, "Who here has peeled 4 sacks of onions, 15 kilograms of garlic, and 33 bundles of green onions? Every day is drilling." The woman with short hair said, 2,340. "That's today's sales. Do you know how many tables I served and wiped today?" After listening to everyone's reasons, Young Ho was embarrassed. What is the situation? Everyone didn't open a store to make money, but the business was so good. The fried chicken shop had become a must-visit place for tourists. The superior said that if they had no results, then the entire group should be disbanded. At this moment, a customer called to order fried chicken. Unexpectedly, this customer was the criminal. Everyone hurried back to the shop, fried a good fried chicken, and set off immediately. They had waited so long for this day. After a long time, they finally met their wish. The team chief headed straight to the place. Unexpectedly, it was the old aunt who opened the door. It turned out that the criminal had already moved away. This time, they were done. Everyone had been working for nothing. Without any result, they could only be slacked off. The chief had completely collapsed. When he returned home, his wife comforted him. "We have no savings set aside, but there's your retirement fund. Let's open a small shop with that." Hearing this, he cried like a 70-kilo baby. His wife still didn't know that he had taken away all the savings and opened a fried chicken shop. Just when everyone was at a loss, the criminal suddenly appeared. It turned out that the criminal saw it on TV. After the news of their fried chicken shop, he wanted to open a chain. They originally thought that the criminal was joking, but they didn't expect him to take a box of money. Facing so much money, everyone was completely shaken. With the sponsorship of criminals, the branches opened many more, and more money was made. But they didn't know that the criminal had no intention of joining the shop, and just distributed their products through their channels. The chief quickly discovered the problem. They began to investigate. Det Ma went undercover in a branch, and was scrubbed by the clerk. Haven't seen an ugly face like his in a while. Detective Ma wanted to slap his face, but he accidentally exposed his real identity, and was knocked to the ground by a bench. The boss knew that Interpol was watching them. He almost went crazy. The boss and the female bodyguard asked someone to help. The female man didn't say much. Her opponents had no chance to fight back. The boss wanted to work with the boss wearing sunglasses. The chief also started their actions. The criminals sent a video from Ma's cell phone, to warn him not to act rashly or he would be killed. The woman was panicked, so she immediately used her phone, to locate the criminal. The robber hit Det Ma again. "You said I'm uglier than you. Do you know how hurtful that is?" Det Ma was once a commando. It took less than 30 seconds for him to bring down these gangsters by himself. Ma madly pursued the criminal's car. He hid behind the car but passed by his teammates. Ma followed all the way to the dock, and the people were trading goods. Det Ma used his cell phone to make the sound of a police car. Both sides thought the other side had betrayed them. As a result, a fight broke out. And the short-haired woman's car finally arrived here, to confirm their eyes, Ma and the short-haired woman were true love. The 5 team members were all here. Ma recognized the guy before. That guy saying him ugly deeply hurt his self-esteem. Tonight, he would fall 100 times to release Ma's hatred. Young Ho was a member of the UDT. Fighting was too easy for him. The short-haired sister was a Muay Thai champion. Otherwise, how could she become a policeman? The handsome new guy also played baseball. These interrogators were really overwhelming. The chief was the strongest. He sustained 12 stab wounds, and still lived. The boss saw that the situation was wrong, and wanted to leave with the money. The chief immediately caught up. The female bodyguard rushed out and fought with the chief. At this moment, the chief blocked a shot for a member who came to the rescue. The female bodyguard knocked the chief to the ground. Ma immediately rushed out to join the fight. Unfortunately, he was beaten with a bruised nose. The short-haired woman said, "You bruised up his face and that's all he's got." The 2 women started a hardcore fight. The short-haired sister quickly won. This was the power of love. The chief escaped the criminal's bullet and caught up with the boss's boat. Just when the boss thought he was safe, the chief suddenly appeared in front of him. The 2 sides started a fight in the small boat to kill the enemy. The chief wanted to clean up this scum as the owner of the fried chicken shop. Both men were exhausted until the end of the fight. After the last fist, the 2 finally fell down. But the chief stood up like a zombie again. With his excellent physical fitness, his bones were all rattling. He caught up with the criminal's calf, a bit off a piece of meat to make fried chicken. On the coast, all criminals were tied up by the police. At the end of the movie, Ma and the short-haired woman began cheesy in public. This was too hurtful to watch. After this incident, all 5 team members were commended and promoted.